My thought for today, wedding flowers, extravagant weddings, the ones that florists go to many conventions to learn how to design for, but they're never really taught how to sell them. And that's really what I'd like to speak about today. How to get that order for the $15,000 to $20,000 wedding. Now, we all know that that usually comprises of a lot of setup, decoration, and in most cases, centerpieces. Well, how many times does a bride walk in the door saying they want to spend $500 or $1,000 a table? They usually don't. They have to be shown what that looks like. Very rarely do you get to see what a bouquet like that should come to look like when you order it, because it's custom created for you. So here's a case that happened to me one day with my staff, and it was a real learning curve, and it helped us get to the next level of larger weddings. We had a bride that was comes from a very good family in town and well-to-do, and they were fortunate enough to be able to have what she wants. Well, she wanted a bouquet somewhere between maybe $100, $150, possibly even $200 was the budget. My staff made her a sample, and it was a beautiful bouquet for $200. It didn't hit the mark. Then we tried it again. Once again, we fell short. Well, at this point, the bride was starting to lose confidence, and we were fortunate enough to be able to read that and get the third meeting. Many times, that bride would be lost by now. So we were fortunate enough to have one more, and at that point, I gathered together with my team, and we put together a plan. And the bouquet that I had constructed was just a little over $600. And my staff said, wait a minute. She said no more than $200. Well, we tried two different versions of $200 and it didn't work. So clearly, the understanding of what a $200 arrangement should look like and what it really is was what the problem was. So we went ahead and created the $600 bouquet that I feel had all of the details that they were looking for, and I presented it. Now, I introduced myself to the bride when I came in to meet with them, and I said to her I had a creation that I made. It's not exactly within the budget you asked for, but let's look at it first and see if this is what you're looking for. At that point, I walked in the room, and there was the bouquet. And I prepared her, because I didn't want to shock them with the price. But the wheels were clearly spinning, and they saw the most beautiful bouquet, and that was her words, the most beautiful bouquet she had ever seen. It was everything she was trying to explain to us. And I said to her, I understand. But the reason my staff couldn't create this was they were working off of the budget that you asked us to work within, and it wasn't aligning. Many times, that's hard to identify and understand what it is that we're allowed to do or not allowed to do. But when you're in a prototype and you're bidding a wedding, there's a lot of time to think about and try new things. Well, this is the time to do it. So I explained to her this bouquet here is just over $600 in value, but because they have so many that they're going to be needing, potentially 18 to 20, I could probably get it to just around $400. And that's really the best I could do. But this is everything she asked for, exactly like she wanted. It was a dream wedding. And that's what the dream looked like when it came to fruition. Now, what she saw was value. She wasn't seeing the dollars as much as the value. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you need to bring up the value in the bouquet, or if you want to be able to sell better and stronger, remember to suggest higher and lower the price to equal value. Don't think you're going to go from $150 to $200 to $300 to $350 to $400. That's how traditional thinking is. The truth is, you need to first identify what she wants, and if it's over the budget, see how you can get within. And here's some things to think about. What types of flowers? Do they need the flowers, or are they looking for the color? Many times it's the color scheme they're looking for. So if you're going to try to come up with peonies in September, that's never going to happen. But different types of flowers can be substituted if the color is what's most important. So you have to think about all that, and that's a good time to meet with the store owner or the manager and see how you can put that together. Because at the end of the day, when you go to these industry meetings and conferences and they show you all these beautiful designs that they can create, I always ask, most of these designers know how to create them, but do we know how to sell them? And that's the focus, because if you could sell that wedding, it's never a problem to make the bouquets. So think about that, and if you have any questions, feel free to call me anytime. I'm always happy to hear from you, speak to you. You can email me or call, whatever's easiest for you. But if you want to book the big weddings like the big guys, and if you want to do the weddings that you see in the magazines, just like a regular bouquet, very rarely do your complaints come from the higher priced items. It's always the lower priced, and it's not even because of the price, it's because of the expectation is not in alignment with the reality of the expectation is not in alignment with the reality of the price that they selected. So keep that in mind. Aligning the expectation with reality is the formula for success. I hope you found this helpful, and again, contact me anytime. Thank you for listening, and keep in touch.